Hello, everyone. Gary White with you again. Another opportunity to get to be with you and share one of these great messages as a lunch and learn for you. It is my pleasure. My prayer is that you're doing well. My prayer is that these messages are landing on good ground in your heart and in your mind, and you're able to take these principles and you're able to make a difference in your community and in your company, for your family, your friends, and for your customers. All right, I want to talk to you today about leading through crisis, and I want to give you the leader's rule of five. Rule of five for leading through crisis. You know, I've said in the earlier episodes that the crisis reveals what's been built. Those of you who have lived through hurricanes and tornadoes and devastation such as that, the crisis reveals what's been built, doesn't it? It really does. And whenever crisis comes to you, it will reveal, as I said in one lesson, it reveals what's under the hood, what kind of horsepower you've got. It's going to reveal what's on the inside. And so there's a leader's rule of five, and there's things that you can be doing every single day to help you during the time of crisis. Now, if you've not been doing some of these things that I'm going to share with you, these five things, you can start doing them right now. You can start doing them right now. And I promise you, it's going to help you lead through this crisis. Okay? It's going to help you do that. Now, let me give some context to why I say rule of five. John Maxwell, my mentor and my friend, has shared with me that how the rule of five works. He says, if I go into my backyard and I take an axe and I hit a tree 5 times, and I lay that axe down and I go back inside, and the next day I come out and I take that axe and I hit that tree 5 times in the same place in the same way. I lay that axe down and I go back inside, and the next day I come back out and I pick up that axe and I hit that tree 5 times. Eventually, what's going to happen to that tree? It's going to fall, right? Eventually. And the principle is that if I do the right thing, using the right tool in the right way, consistently and persistently, that tree's going to fall. I'm going to win. And the same is true for you. Let me give you this leader's rule of five for operating a well-oiled machine. Isn't that what we isn't that what we want in times of crisis? We want a well-oiled machine, don't we? So I'm going to give you a leader's rule of five for operating a well-oiled machine. Number one, every day, fuel up your people. Every day, fuel up your people. Show your appreciation for the value that they bring to the workplace. Maybe you've got those that are results driven and they're just good at getting it done. Maybe you've got those that are so good at the details that if you didn't have them, there'd be a lot of things that you'd miss. Maybe you got those that have such a sense of enthusiasm that they bring to the workplace that it's just contagious and it's in a good way. And maybe you've got those that are just so good at listening and teamwork and follow through. And and you want to reach out to each and every one of them. You want to appreciate them every day. Fuel up your people. I promise you, this is fuel. Whenever you show appreciation to them, it is fuel that they can use. They need that fuel. So every day, fuel up your people. Number two, everyday inspection. Now, we're talking about a well-oiled machine right here. And so I want you to think of a machine, and then it plugs right into how a leader's rule of five for operating a well-oiled machine with your people. Just like you would do an inspection on the machine, you're gonna look at all the working parts. Is everything running efficiently? And so every day you want to ask the questions. You want to ask the questions. Do we have everything that we need? Do you have everything that you need for us to run smoothly today? What is it that you need from me? Are you clear on the steps that you need to take? Is there any way that I can help you, that I can help knock some of the dust off of the policy manual? I can help knock some of the dust off of the presentation that you're going to give. Maybe you haven't used Zoom before. Is there a way that I can help you use Zoom in this virtual meeting that you're going to be a part of? So every day you fuel up your people. Every day you do an inspection on that machine and make sure things are running appropriately. Every day you check the things that have a regular maintenance schedule. Oh yes, if you're going to have a well-oiled machine, if you're going to have a machine that operates well for you every day, you check those things that have a regular maintenance schedule. There may be some list items. There may be some things that need to get done, need to get accomplished. There may be courtesy that needs to be given. There may be affirmation that needs to be given. Every day, those things that need a regular maintenance schedule, you want to check those things, just like you would check the oil in a machine, just like you would check the air filter in a machine. You want to be sure that the culture is good, that everything is in place, everything is the right environment to have a well-oiled machine, for things to run smoothly. We know what an environment does. An environment magnifies the effect. So if you have a good positive environment, and you're going to be the one that can foster that, if you got a good positive environment, you're going to multiply that effect. If you got an environment that's down and depressed, that's negative, then you're going to multiply that effect as well if you allow that environment to continue. So number one, you want to every day fuel up your people. Number two, every day there's got to be an inspection, just like you would do a walk around on that vehicle and make sure that there's nothing out of place. You're going to do that every day with your people. Every day you're going to check the things that have a regular maintenance schedule. Number four, every day check the gauges. It's not enough just to check the oil. Whenever you crank that machine up, you look at the gauges. How's my oil pressure? What am I talking about right there? I'm talking about feedback from your people every day. Every day, solicit feedback from your people. Every day. How am I doing as a leader? How's your family in this crisis? Tell me what your needs are. Tell me what your concerns are. Every day, check the gauges, the signals, the feedback. You need to know the vibe. You need to know the vibe. And number five, every day, treat them like they're brand new. If you want a well-oiled machine, wouldn't you agree that every day you would fuel that machine up? Every day you would do an inspection on that machine and make sure there's nothing out of the way, nothing unsafe. Everything is the wheels. If they're supposed to be chalked, the wheels are chalked. If the PTO shaft has got to be hooked up, it's hooked up. Carter pins in, we're good. Every day you do an inspection. Every day you check. Wouldn't you do this? Check the things that have a regular maintenance schedule. You check the oil. You check the air filter. Every day you're going to do that. Every day you're going to check the gauges, the signals, the feedback. And then isn't it true that every day, if you would treat that machine like it's brand new, and I'm telling you what, you're polishing that thing up, you're treating it like it's brand new. How many of you have seen a machine? How many of you have seen a vehicle that's been treated that way? You're like, man, it looks like it's brand new. They have taken good care of that vehicle. Your people are the same way. Your company is the same way. And as a leader, you have that power to do that. Wouldn't it be awesome if people look at your company and they say, man, he really takes care of his company. She really knows how to run a well-oiled machine. It's the same way with people. Every day, fuel up your people. Every day, do an inspection. Ask questions. Do they have everything they need? Is everything prepped to run efficiently? Every day, check the things that have a regular maintenance schedule, those list items, affirmation, courtesy. Every day, check the gauges, the signals, the feedback. You want to know what the vibe is. And every day, if you'll treat them like they're brand new, every day, treat them like they're brand new. This is going to help you lead. Now, I want to offer you some questions right now, okay? I want to offer you some questions that you can offer to your people. This is a bonus in this lesson on how you can lead effectively. I gave you the leader's rule of five. If you do these 5 things every day. Now I want to give you some perspective, because there's 3 levels of leading through a crisis. You've got to lead on the company level by casting vision. You got to lead on the team level. You got to be able to connect with the team, and then you got to lead on that personal level. That personal level, you got to connect with the individual. So as this event has unfolded, three questions that you really want to ask yourself is how much is this affecting the individual? You need to be able to answer this question. How much does it affect the team? And how much is it affecting the company? And just take some time and answer those questions and get really clear on what that looks like. If you want to have a well-oiled machine, you got to take the time. You got to take the time to look at the things that need to be looked at. There's 6 questions I want to give you to ask your team in a crisis. Number 1, when a crisis hits, and it has hit many of you, what were we prepared for? What were we prepared for? What were we not prepared for? What have we learned? What needs improvement? How will we re-enter? And when and how will we test our new plan? Again, those 6 questions. What were we prepared for? What were we not prepared for? What have we learned? What needs improvement? And how will we re-enter? And then finally, when and how will we test our new plan? When and how will we test the new plan? Now, I want to give you 3 questions to guide your team's daily focus. 3 questions that you can ask of your team that's going to guide their daily focus. Number 1 is, what is required of you? And number 2, what gives you the greatest return? Of all the things that you could do, what gives you the greatest return? And then number 3, what gives you the greatest reward? What's the most rewarding part of what it is that you do? And when you can align those 3 R's, we call it, when you can align those 3 R's, what's required of me is what gives me the greatest return and also gives me the greatest reward. And you're cooking with gas. But it's a great question. Those are great questions to ask your team that's going to help them with their daily focus. It's going to help them focus because crisis brings distraction. And when it brings distraction, you can lose traction, okay? And these questions will help you maintain that traction. So in review, the leader's rule of 5 for operating a well-oiled machine. Number 1, every day fuel up your people. Number 2, every day do an inspection, do a walk around. Number 3, every day check the things that have a regular maintenance schedule. Number 4, check the gauges, the signals, the feedback. Number 5, every day treat them like they're brand new. 3 questions that you need to ask yourself as a leader. How much is this event affecting the people? How much is it affecting my team? And how much is it affecting the company? Because you got to be able to lead on all 3 levels. As at the company level, you got to cast vision. At the team level, you got to connect with the team. At the personal level, you got to connect with the individual. You really do. Follow that rule of 5 with all of them. 6 questions to ask your team in crisis. What were we prepared for? What were we not prepared for? What have we learned? What needs improvement? How will we re-enter? When and how will we test our new plan? And then 3 questions to help you guide your team's daily focus. What's required of you? What gives you the greatest return? What gives you the greatest reward? Hey, it's been my pleasure to share these 4 short lunch and learns with you that you can pass on to your team. I'm going to be following these up with some of the standard lunch and learns that we offer through the John Maxwell team, on such as Everyone Communicates, Few Connect, 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, 21 Laws of Leadership. I'll be sharing some snippets of those just to give you some good things as I can come into your company this way, give you some good things that's going to help you get to your win. God bless. I'll see you in the next episode.